A 16-year-old boy has been charged with murder after a shooting in Stockton on Tuesday. Family members have identified the victim as 21-year-old Quiana Noble. Keep in mind, this marks the 30th homicide in Stockton this year. While the homicide rate has fallen, it is still far too high. Community advocates say this case shows the need for more investments.
Quiana Noble, just 21 years old, is remembered as a pure soul who graced everyone with a smile, the type who would help others, especially her grandmother. They had gone bowling just last week. Her family, who lives in San Leandro, are now making funeral arrangements after she was killed by gunfire Tuesday night. Stockton police say Noble and another 18-year-old girl had met up with a 16-year-old boy and another unknown male near Astor and Albany Drives. Detectives say both males fired multiple gunshots at the girls. The teenage boy was struck and found nearby. Medics took him to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. He now faces murder charges. Noble died at the scene. 35 evidence markers littered the street by her car.
Of course, our city is always grieving and mourning for the homicides.
Noble's killing marks Stockton's 30th homicide in 2022. While high, it is below the annual average of 40 homicide cases per year since 1995. Tony McNeil says the decline is in part to collaborative efforts by community groups like Faith in the Valley and Advance Peace, working with the Office of Violence Prevention.
This is all hands on deck.
Congress recently passed a bipartisan gun safety bill that includes $250 million in investments for community violence intervention programs. But McNeil says the fight is far from over.
Typically, communities of colors don't receive those funds. We receive like a residual, pennies to the dollar.
She says next comes a competitive grant writing process to secure those funds for cities like Stockton.
We have to come together and begin to sit at the table and advocate on ways that communities of color, CBOs that are closer to the ground and closer to the pain can compete for these funds.